Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into a topic that, well, it really touches everyone at some point, doesn't it? Planning for retirement, figuring out those future life goals.
Right. And it's so much more than just, the financial side.
Exactly. It's about actually designing what comes next,
Yeah.
really shaping that chapter.
Yeah, definitely. And for this deep dive, we didn't just look at standard financial reports or anything like that.
No, definitely not.
Our source material is actually, I think, much richer. It's a conversation
A real conversation.
between two people, Linda and Michael. They're both navigating this whole retirement path themselves.
Oh, interesting. So real people, real talk.
Exactly. Linda's an HR manager, Michael's in marketing, and hearing them discuss it, it gives us a great window into this whole transition. Very practical.
Okay, cool. So our mission here today is basically to pull out those really practical insights, right? Those little aha moments from their chat.
Precisely.
We want to give you a way to get up to speed quickly, but, thoroughly on what's a pretty major life shift. Offer some different ways to think about your own sort of post-work life without it feeling, I don't know, overwhelming.
Yeah, that's key. And what I found fascinating is how Linda and Michael just naturally weave together the money stuff with their, personal dreams and hopes.
Right.
So Linda, she's 58, just really starting to dig into the serious planning.
Yeah.
And she reaches out to Michael, he's 61, already kind of started his prep for his thoughts, his advice.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. Michael talks quite a lot about the financial side, the groundwork.
He does. He mentions his nest egg, building that up.
Right, and his pension fund, his specific savings plan.
Yeah. And what really comes through is his focus, it seems like a laser focus, on hitting that financial independence.
Financial independence.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean for him, though?
Well, for him, it translates into freedom.
Wow.
The freedom to actually do what he genuinely wants to do, not just what he has to do.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Freedom.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it's not just about having the money, it's about the intention behind it.
Intention. How so?
Well, look at the language he uses. He says things like, I will retire by the time I turn 65.
Right. That's quite definite.
It is. It's not just a vague hope. It's a declared milestone. Specific.
That's interesting. It shows real commitment.
Yeah.
And he does something similar with his mortgage, doesn't he?
He does. He doesn't just say, I hope to pay it off. He states, I will have paid off my mortgage by then.
By retirement age, presumably.
Exactly. Again, it's a commitment to hitting a specific financial target by a set time. It shows a very proactive approach, forward thinking.
Yeah, really managing things actively.
He even gets quite visual about his future. He says, I'll be living near the coast by 2030.
Wow, that's specific.
Yeah, and that kind of, future-oriented language, it really highlights that retirement isn't supposed to be this sudden cliff you fall off.
Right, it's a process.
It's a culmination of things you're doing now, and it helps if you have a clear picture, a vision. It shows how powerful it is to not just save, but to actually see that future life you're working towards.
Seeing the why behind the saving.
Exactly.
But it wasn't all just finances, right? You mentioned personal aspirations.
Oh, absolutely. That's what really brings their conversation alive, I think. Both Linda and Michael talk about wanting to feel fulfilled, not just relaxed when they retire.
Fulfilled, not just relaxed. I like that distinction.
Me too. Michael talks about this long-held dream he has of starting a small cafe.
Oh, wow. Right.
And Linda, for her part, really emphasizes wanting to spend more time with family.
So very different goals, but both deeply personal.
Very personal. And it raises that big question, doesn't it? What actually makes for a rich, meaningful retirement? It's not just about the bank balance.
No, definitely not. They touch on health, too, I remember.
They do. They both acknowledge that health is just as important as money when you retire.
Which sounds obvious, but maybe gets overlooked sometimes in the planning.
I think it can, yeah. This holistic view, considering your finances, your passions, and your well-being, seems absolutely crucial. It's about what you want to do, and will your health allow you to do it?
Right. And Michael also mentioned downsizing his home. Was that purely financial?
Well, partly, probably. But for him, it also seemed tied to simplifying life, maybe freeing up time and energy, not just capital.
Okay, so a lifestyle choice as much as a financial one.
Seems like it.
But, life happens, plans change.
Sure.
Did they talk about uncertainty at all?
Yeah.
Because not everything can be planned down to the last detail.
Oh, for sure. That definitely came through. It highlights how dynamic this planning process is. Linda, for instance, she admits, I haven't decided yet, but I'm leaning toward.
Okay. So she's still exploring options.
Exactly. Her plans are clearly still evolving. And Michael, even with his specific goals, adds that layer of realism. He says things like, it depends on how things go with my investments.
Right. Acknowledging the variables, the things you can't totally control.
Precisely. The path isn't always straight. Michael even talks about potentially taking early retirement if everything goes well, he says.
Okay, so that's an option he's considering.
But then he also mentions, I'd like to stay active and maybe do part-time consulting.
Ah, interesting. So retirement for him doesn't necessarily mean stopping work completely.
Not at all. It seems more like redefining work for him, shifting gears maybe, allowing for new interests or staying engaged, just on different terms.
Okay, so pulling this all together, what does this deep dive into Linda and Michael's chat really mean for you, the listener, thinking about your own future?
Well, I think it really hammers home that planning for those later years needs sort of a two-pronged approach.
Two prongs. Okay, what are they?
First, they're the strategic financial moves, obviously. Building that nest egg, putting money into a pension fund, maybe considering things like downsizing, all aimed at reaching that financial independence.
Right, the practical money side. Got it.
But just as vital, maybe even more so, are those really personal aspirations. The why. Exactly. Picturing yourself, maybe, I don't know, starting a small cafe or spending more time with family or doing that part-time consulting like Michael mentioned.
So the core idea is wanting to feel fulfilled, not just relaxed.
Yes. And remembering that key insight. Health is just as important as money. You need both for a good post-work life.
Absolutely. And we should also remember it's a journey, right?
Yeah.
Not a fixed point.
Definitely. Like Linda and Michael showed with phrases like, I haven't decided yet, but I'm leaning toward.
Or it depends on how things go.
Right. There has to be room for, nuance, flexibility. Things change, you adjust.
It's an ongoing process.
Exactly.
So here's something to think about as we wrap up. As you reflect on your own future, beyond the spreadsheets, beyond the savings targets, what truly defines a fulfilling post-work life for you? What does that actually look like, feel like?
That's a great question.
And maybe what specific steps, even tiny ones, could you maybe start thinking about or even doing today to begin shaping your ideal future?
Yeah, how do you define success and happiness in that next big stage?
And what unexpected passions might be waiting for you to unlock? Lots to think about there.